Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. Thank you all so much for taking the time to support the channel. Competitive play is quite literally back on the table. COVID is, it's kind of going away and things are clearing up a little bit. And the Pro Tour, which was recently abandoned, is back, right? This is big news for many individuals, not necessarily myself yet. More on this later, but maybe even for yourself, right? So how can you or myself as the average individual work your way up, not only to the Pro Tour, but hopefully eventually to the World Championship, right? So we're going to break down all of the different paths you can take on that today that were revealed through this recent announcement, both for paper and digital Magic, which is super exciting. So, no matter which way you play, we're going to do our best to help you get there. And of course, just recently qualifying for this month's event, finishing at rank number 800 yesterday, which is super exciting using that new mono white deck. The win rate on this thing is insane. It's higher than any other variant we've had, a 17 game win streak. Wow. My highest win streak within Mythic for sure. The link for that we can have in the comments pinned for you guys. Make sure to like this video to help show your support, and let's just get into the article and just start breaking it down, flow through it. It could be a long-winded video, but I think it's important to be aware of everything that's going around you. If you're already playing this event or this game for hours and hours and hours, why not test your might, right? So let's take a look. Alrighty then. The Pro Tour is back, and you just choirs singing in the background. The Pro Tour is back. The past 2 years were not kind, really, to Magic or many individuals in general, I suppose. I'm still hiding. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still just in my little basement, little studio I've got set up. I know that it's better out there, but I'm gonna hide a little bit longer. Anywho, the exciting part is that there is light at the end of the tunnel here, and Magic has acknowledged that, and they're bringing back the Pro Tour, which is super exciting. And this is the middle phase of the pyramid. It's not even the top of the pyramid, but it is an essential section of it, I suppose. And of course, the top is the World Championship. Beautiful. Recently, we had the Neon Dynasty set championship, and this was very popular. Everyone really had a great time watching it, and it was Alchemy and Historic, which was it was still all right. So lots of hype on that, and I'm sure many of you are interested in trying to get in on that action. So not only yourselves, but myself as well. So just talking about that, and there's a couple different ways that this is going to go. All of the different ways that you can play the game, whether it be digitally or on tabletop, will funnel into tabletop. So, if you don't have the deck for the event, I think you're probably going to need that unless they do decide to do it digitally. But we've only seen that with Arena, and it appears that we'll be using some other events. However, there is also Pioneer is the format that we're discussing here. However, there was, the news that we would get Pioneer in Arena, and these events aren't until, later this year, at the end of this year, next year, right? So things could fall together, and maybe, we could be playing it on the Arena client, which would be fantastic for those of us not really too excited to travel around the world yet. But again, this is in the future, and things are, again, still bound to clear up as we're approaching that light at the end of the tunnel, like I mentioned, with the pandemic. At least I hope. Please. Anywho, so World Championship up top, Pro Tour, Regional Championships, both qualifiers, and then the championship. So what are these? They're new, being brought back, and it depends on where you're located. And then if you can do well here, you'll get an invite to the Pro Tour. There are also other ways we can get invited to the Pro Tour that we're going to break down. So, you can potentially do very well just within the Arena client. There is one path that you can take to qualify for the Pro Tour this way. More on that in a little bit. And then, of course, you you do well in specific events as well that we'll break down for the World Championship. So how can you get into all of these different tiers and work your way up to the top? That's what that video is about. And I said it was going to be long-winded, and it is very early. We should probably fuel up here. Oh yeah. So there's details on the Pro Tour here that we'll break down in a second. Basically just saying that regional events are back on the table top, I suppose. And then these regional championship qualifiers will be held at different stores depending on which country you're in, or region, I should say. So whether you're in the United States, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, woof, that's a big section of stores. Legacy. Australia or New Zealand, China, Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, Brazil, Mexico. I suppose another section of China, Mexico, the Caribbean, South America, beautiful. So we can take a look at this, for example. Open link in new tab. If you live in Canada, the tour weekend for each individual event. I guess we should just go to the intro. And there it is. Beautiful. Which is actually fairly acceptable for me. I know many of you probably are not Canadian. However, myself being in Alberta, one in Calgary, and one in Edmonton, that is absolutely beautiful. Vancouver is doable as well. All of this side's on the West Coast, and Toronto, Montreal, Toronto. Definitely very East Coast oriented, but very acceptable. For me as an Albertan, which is pretty cool. So, you want to probably bookmark these individual links depending on which region you're in, and then follow them for information, right? Like they're going to talk about everything that you'll need to do here and the different stores and the routes that you take, which is really exciting. So they've got it all laid out on the specific websites for your specific region, so you're getting accurate information, right? We're not going to go into all of those individuals because, I don't know Portuguese, right? I'm sure Google Translate could get us through it. But anywho, if you enter these events, you're going to get a lava spike. If you do well, you're going to get a shrine. And if you win, you're going to get a holographic shrine. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And most importantly, you'll be invited back to the regional championship. So first, it's the qualifier. Anyone can get to the qualifier. Just show up. You play the format that they're playing. There's a couple different formats that you can play depending on the event that your place is hosting. More information on that through this specific website. You do well, you come back, you win the championship, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then you get into the Pro Tour. You'll also get a Teferi, for the participants, and then a traditional foil for the top finishers, which is pretty cool. And who doesn't want to add, that limited edition Teferi to their card pool? And then the Pro Tour, $500,000 in prizes, right? You're going to need an invitation to this, much like you would to the championship, I suppose. But a couple different ways to get an invite to the Pro Tour. Again, more on this later. And then, playing on, I actually don't even know the schedule. I would assume it's a weekly schedule, just like all the time. Just playing Magic for a living. This is literally what you want. This is, woo, welcome to the Pro Tour. Beautiful. That's the dream, right? And then, just like living your life in the Pro Tour, being a professional Magic player and taking shots at the World Championship as frequently as you possibly can. Again, 128 players here, which will be a massive player base. No. $1 million. $1 million up for grabs through the prize structure. And again, more on that as the date progresses and comes closer to fruition or whatever, right? And then the digital path, which is pretty cool. So you can qualify whether you're playing online or arena, which is exciting. The arena qualifier weekends will continue as this new structure does lay out with exciting new twists, which is super exciting, apparently, right? I assume, they state that there's going to be different ways to qualify rather than the ranked ladder play, which is exciting. And I was expecting almost personally that it could be like the first 100 people to Mythic get an invite, and then the top 1,200 keep their invite. But it might actually be, because it's saying away from ladder play, MTG Arena will include new ways to qualify besides ladder play. So yeah, maybe not even anything ranked related, which is kind of crazy. Maybe it's just like different events in the store that you pay gold for. Oh, that would be such a Wizards thing to do. Yes, you guys, did you hear that? Wizards. People are willing to pay for the chance like a lottery ticket. Woo! No! But the showcase events will continue if you're on Magic Online, which is cool, and you can get right to the World Championship directly from that, which is super exciting. And then the updated arena qualification path will start in April ladder play and May qualification events. So looking forward to that this month, as it is April 1st. And what are these new ways to qualify? We're super exciting. I'm waiting. And then everything's going to plug into the tabletop path within time, right? So, even if you do really well in these events within Arena, within Online, eventually you're going to have to sit down and learn how to play with a deck of cards, and most importantly, buy a deck of cards. Yes. And you can learn all about that, which is super exciting. More in details through all of this, which we'll actually get to all of these in a little bit. I'll have the links for the article in the description below if you cannot stand my rambling, and just go through it yourself, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Anywho, it's going to be Pioneer, right? We talked about this already. We'll feature Pioneer, right? So whether they incorporate this into the Arena clients, or we're gonna have to sit down and get some paper cards, or we have to get MTG Online accounts. It's going to be taxing for those of us maybe not already involved in that scene who are new, stepping away from the digital format. Obviously, I'm heavily invested within the Arena client. Some of these other things may be a little bit more strenuous to obtain, but nonetheless, we'll do our best. So, Pioneer, I hope this just works into the client and limited, which should be totally doable within the client. And then the regional qualifiers, standard, Pioneer, modern, or limited, right? I guess depending on what the store's doing, right? We talked about this, and then so that's the regional championship. The qualifiers, anyone gets to the championship. If you do well in the qualifiers, it'll be in the same region. And then the battle against the best, if you do well in that, getting invited to the Pro Tour. More ways on this in a second, and the same as that. So that's the first article. And then, again, bookmark your specific site, and then you can track these individual events as they come a little bit closer to the date. And then we'll talk about the details of the Pro Tour and all the different championships, right? So again, bookmark these links like we just mentioned. So the Pro Tour, be one of, so there's different ways to get there. They're going to invite 300 players, prize pool $500,000. Breakdown is yet to come. Top qualifiers at a regional championship, right? We talked about that. So that's just progressing through the pyramid. This is going to be the majority of invites. And then finish with 10 or more wins at a previous Pro Tour. So you basically already have to have an invite, and this is what you want to achieve once you're on the Pro Tour, right? The online championship showcases, if you're playing MTGO, and then members of the Hall of Fame, right? You gotta bring the greats around, of course, and then players who finish with 39 or more adjusted points from the previous Pro Tour. So if you just are continuously doing well, but not really getting that top finish or whatever you need to progress to the next level, but still always doing really, really well. Like if you consistently get fourth or whatever, right? There's more math on that down below that I don't think is really worth getting into, but if you're just doing generally well. And then the top 4 finishers of the previous championship will receive invites to all 3 Pro Tours. Woof, right? So that's pretty cool. Just basically do well all the time, right? It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So Pro Tour 1, and this is really, this is your chance. This is your only chance to get in on this. If you're like, I can only play Arena, I can't travel to any of these events. So first off, 32 players from the World Championship, right? You got to bring the masses, and those are typically always already the best players. All players who finish 9 and 6 or better from the new Capenna Championship, right? This is something that I believe will be played digitally on Arena as it was last time, right? We all watched and cheered for Jim. I do believe this, will be held on Arena. More confirmation on this needed. However, if you're playing Arena and you want on the Pro Tour, this is how you're going to get there. And then eventually, I hope, once you're there, that the Pioneer and Limited will be both on Arena as well as we progress in the future. And because they've stated their plans to bring Pioneer, right? So we know this. Fingers crossed, right? For an individual like myself who, can travel to these events, but it's like, I'd rather just play Arena. Oh man, it's expensive to travel, yo. And it's close and it's still expensive. I couldn't imagine people who have to travel long distances. It's a long distance, let's be honest. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers, but still, nonetheless. And then bonus invitations, varying by region. Each region will have approximately 50% or more bonus invitations, which is, why the majority of invitations are coming from the regional championships, which is pretty cool. And then the other Pro Tours, you're going to already basically need to be in the previous Pro Tour, or then you're playing Paper Magic at the regional events, right? So yeah, do well in the previous Pro Tour, or you have to travel to an event and play Paper. Or the very first one, the very first Pro Tour, you can sneak in through the client, I'm pretty sure. And I hope to see them. I know that they want to, support Paper Play, but let's support the Arena crew as well, right? Like let's have this invite available for every Pro Tour, or at least for one every year, right? Just to sneak in every now and again. And then the World Championship, $1 million, 128 players, top 4 from the 2022 championship, players who finished 12 and 4 or better, or in the top 8 at any of the season's Pro Tours, right? So that's probably where you're going to get in. Do well, get into the Pro Tour, do well in the Pro Tour, right? And then you're in. Easy. That's easy. The top 2 from each of the 3 online showcase events for those playing MTG online. Different from Arena, if you're unfamiliar, it's browser-based. Players to be determined from Magic the Gathering Arena. Interesting. Maybe more news on this later, as they've mentioned that some of the digital announcements are to come at the end of April. So, more on this, I'm sure. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's different ways here. The regional championships, we talked about that. And then the runner-up from the regional championship events in the United States, Europe, and Japan. What? Sorry, Canada. Hashtag get wrecked. No! The top 32 players that are already invited. Beautiful, beautiful. So just like, different ways to get invited there. And then wrapping it up, there was a stream that was probably much more articulated than this, but was probably much longer. And then they answered questions, which I was kind of late to all of this because I was busy trying to qualify for it. Well, not kind of, actually. Not necessarily for the Pro Tour, but just for the next Mythic qualifier that we have coming up, which is exciting. So speaking of that, how can you qualify for the April ranked season on Arena? This is really probably what the majority of my audience, you guys, are here for, is playing Arena. I would be interested, maybe we should do a poll on the channel or even just comments down below. It's like, are you guys playing Paper Magic? Are you going to go to these events to play Paper Magic? Or are you like, I'm playing Arena. That's what I spent my money on. This is what I'm doing. I need you guys to set me straight. What's up? So these are just events that are passing through the game, I believe. Like, these are just events. I'm pretty sure. Just like you'd find in your game client. I don't think they have anything to do with the qualifier weekend or the April 2022 ranked season. However, I do believe they will be events that take place during the month of April, the 4th month, right? I'm pretty sure that's just what's going on here. This is just our event schedule. It's nothing crazy. We're trying to what does this infinity sign mean? Oh, yeah, I should go through all this and comprehend it beforehand before trying to present it to everyone. I think we do an all right job. Oh my gosh, that's everything. That's all I have for you guys. Get that mythic qualifier, right? And then you can sneak your way right into the Pro Tour by participating in the Kamigawa Set Championship through the Arena client, I believe. And then also, hopefully, as they mentioned, with the digital things, they'll have different ways that they're going to outline in April. And we've seen that they said you could qualify through the World Championship or directly to it through arena-based events that they've just not showcased yet. So regardless of which way you guys are going to compete, there's plenty of different paths to take. You may, if you're super lucky, be able to avoid buying a deck until the World Championship, because there's a good chance that this World Championship is paper magic. It's all paper magic. It always has been. Let's be honest. It's fine though. It's high quality and we love it. So again, paper magic all your way up, or you can try to sneak in with digital here and there. And again, like they said, it's still going to all funnel to the paper magic, which I have to assume the World Championship will be held on tabletop, because we haven't had tabletop in years. So why not jump right into it and be like, big tabletop event? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to follow. We've all become so accustomed to the arena aesthetics. It's beautiful. Everything just is auto triggering. Like, it's very fast. And I think the World of Paper could really slow things down. And they were already super long days when we were kind of doing those watch parties for the last event, like 8-hour plus days. Imagine these events with paper magic. All right, let me just pull out my 8 counters here. Distribute those. Oh my gosh, right? But again, there's only so much time, and I would imagine that we would just get to see less matches in general and just the same amount of time for the event. Or they could maybe bounce between events all the time, right? Bounce here, bounce there. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. Hopefully more so than this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a magical day. Leave me a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. And good luck qualifying. If you're looking for a deck, it's pinned in the comments below. Again, we went on a 17-game win streak. Qualifying ourselves with the top 800 Mythic, which is super exciting. So looking forward to the April event, which was apparently Alchemy. Traditional Alchemy. So best of 3 Alchemy on April 9th and 10th. If you also qualified this past month alongside myself, congratulations. If so, anywho, we'll see you guys in the next. Take care.